A policewoman notices that two people were kissing. She then decides to hide and watch the two. At that moment, the woman pushes the man and he asks what happened. She says her cousin could see them, but the man says she was at the police station, so she wouldn't see the two. The man then says that her cousin wouldn't be doing her patrol on that street, so she wouldn't see the two of them together. The woman then says that he was right, but asks if he didn't think it was better to go to his house. The man agrees with her and says that they might as well take some of her cousin's valuable belongings. This makes the policewoman very angry, and at that moment she receives a call. She then says that she had just found out that her husband was cheating on her with her cousin. The woman then tells them to leave as she wanted to be alone with the man. The policewoman then tells the phone that she was on her way and then leaves. Sometime later, the policeman was at his house. She sits on the bed and starts thinking about what she was going to do. She decides to go to the bathroom and hide there. At that moment, her husband arrives with his cousin. They go to bed together and the man tries to kiss the cousin, but she tells him to wait a bit. She says that first he would have to show her what he was going to steal from her cousin. They then go to the man's wife's wardrobe and start looking through their belongings. They continue to look, but the cousin ends up finding a pregnancy test. She is then surprised by that and asks if the man knew that his wife was pregnant. She gets mad at him and asks why he didn't tell her. She then asks what his excuse was for that. The man doesn't know what to say, but he says that son wouldn't change anything between them. He says that if his wife was thinking he was stupid to be with her, she was wrong. She then asks if the man would have the courage to abandon his cousin with his son. He said he didn't care about that, because what was important to him was her. Meanwhile, the policewoman was in the bathroom, desperate about the situation. She then gets up, takes out her cell phone and calls someone. She then said that she already knew what she was going to do, because she would teach her husband a good lesson. They were then in the bedroom when the man takes a ring and says that he had bought it to give to his wife, but that it no longer made any sense to him. He says that the love of her life was her and puts the ring on her finger. The woman then asks if she really was the love of his life and he says yes. She then said that that ring looked much better on her, and the man said that everything looked better on her than on his wife. Meanwhile, the policewoman was in the bathroom. She then opens a drawer and pulls out a hammer. She starts to think about what she was going to do and starts to work up the courage to hit her head with the hammer. Sometime later, a policeman stops the man. The man then greets the officer and the woman asks if he knew him. The man said yes, as he was his wife's friend. The policeman then asks who that woman was with the man and she says that she was his wife's cousin. The man then says that they were in a hurry and that they needed to leave, but the officer asks if he didn't know that his wife was missing. He then asks if the man is going to do nothing, but the man says that his wife will be coming home soon. At this moment, the policeman hears a noise and then he asks what was going on. The policeman then said that noise was very suspicious and asks the man to open the trunk. The man said he didn't need that, as they knew each other well, but the policeman tells the man to open the trunk right away. He doesn't know what to say to the policeman, so he agrees to open the trunk. They then go to the trunk saying that it was absurd. They open the trunk and at that moment, the officer notices that the man's wife was tied up inside. The policeman then helps the man's wife out of there. The man then asks what was going on there and why his wife was inside the trunk. The policeman then says that he was under arrest and that he would have to explain himself at the police station, but the man says that that was not necessary, as they knew each other. The man then tells his wife to tell the police the truth and asks what she was doing there. She then says that the man was trying to kidnap her and that he had beaten her. The woman then says that her cousin was getting things wrong, but she tells the police to arrest her too. The policeman then arrests the woman and she tells her cousin not to do that to her. She then asks if the man had thought that he would cheat on her and nothing would happen to him. She said that that bruise she had made with a hammer. She said that that pregnancy test was a lie and that she wasn't pregnant by him as she thought he was a horrible person. The man then becomes desperate and asks for his wife's forgiveness. She said that she would not forgive him and that he would be arrested for that. She said that she never wanted to see him again in her life. The policeman then takes the man away, and meanwhile he tells the woman that he still loved her and asks her not to do that to him.